This video is for educational purposes only. It's not intended for anything more or less, and we will learn how to move in this type of situation.
I had a 20-year addiction to crack. As crazy as it may sound, crack actually saved me from being a serial killer. Grew up in a very abusive household where my father would lock me in the trunk of cars. He would beat me. He would hang me on the trees in the backyard. He would beat my sisters. He would shoot the house up. My father had did those things in this day and age. They would have thrown him up under the jail, written a book, and made a movie about him. He was so diabolical. We were terrified every day to walk home from school knowing that this man was going to be there. Growing up, I enjoyed torturing animals, burning, did some other horrific stuff as a kid. The way my father would hurt me, I wanted to hurt other people. When my mother finally left my father, ended up being on crack for 20 years, so it took away my career being a serial killer.
Bro is being so real and I respect it. Does that make this man crazy? I mean, of course it's crazy. That don't mean you go be a serial killer. And he didn't though. And that's where it comes from. Your childhood really does shape your life.
You know, crack. I had a 20-year addiction to crack. And as crazy as it may sound, is crack actually saved me from being a serial killer. You might laugh, you might, say all kind of stuff, but crack saved me from being a serial killer.
I mean, I'm sure, crack, not even crack, just doing drugs in general, something that'll keep your mind from doing other things, you know what I'm saying? Because you're strung out on that. You don't really have no control. You know what I'm saying? That is your cope. A lot of serial killers, that's how they cope, is by killing people. You feel me though? So like, I could see it in a sense, like how doing drugs could keep you from doing crazy, even crazier stuff. You feel me though?
Grew up in a very abusive household where my father would lock me in the trunk of cars. He would beat me. He would hang me on the trees in the backyard. He would beat my sisters. He would rape my sisters. He would shoot the house up. I mean, I can't tell you the many times the police came to the house. He would just do all kind of wicked stuff, make us fight each other. It's all kind of things. If my father, I'm 57 years old, my father had did those things in this day and age, they would have thrown him up under the jail and written a book and made a movie about him. He was so diabolical. I mean, he was intentional on torturing us. We were terrified every day to walk home from school knowing that this man was going to be there and not knowing what mood he was going to be in.
Man, that's hella sad, bro. That it's a lot of kids that you went to school with, a lot of people you went to school with, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, and that's a real reality that people face in this world, is they don't want to go home from school because they living conditions, they parents is messed up, or they might have some decent, you know what I'm saying? School is a real escape, and it's a real helpful tool for parents, and because the kids can go to school, eat, they get education, so-called you get educated somewhat at school. Free daycare. You ain't got a lot of parents. It's a lot of parents who is in the streets, you know what I'm saying, like bums on the corner, but they kids is at school, you know what I'm saying, able to get a meal and whatever. You feel me? So
let me give you an example of how crazy my father was. There was one time that he called me downstairs. We lived in a house with 3 bedrooms, and my sisters, I had 3 sisters. Well, I have 3 sisters, and they slept upstairs. He called me down. I was about 7 or 8 years old. He called me downstairs, and he said, I want you to play like you came downstairs and you found me dead, and you found this knife in my chest. So he went to grab some checkbooks back then, and he put this knife inside the checkbooks and put the checkbooks inside his chest and closed and buttoned up his shirt where it appeared like he had been stabbed in the chest. And he poured ketchup all around himself, and he said, you better go upstairs and you better make sure you're convincing and letting your sisters know that you found me dead like this, because I want to see if they really love me and I want to see their reaction. So me as a kid, I mean, now this is one of many
that's wild
incidents with this man. So he So I go upstairs and I'm telling my sisters, I found Daddy downstairs and he's dead and blah blah blah. And so they run downstairs and they're looking around and they see all this red stuff that appears to be blood, and they're not even screaming. They're just like, oh wow, wow. And then one of my sisters out of
But see, he do that. This kind of remind me of like some color purple shit in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like he only did that because of the way he is in the first place. He already know that they ain't gonna do, so he gonna be mad that they ain't crying and all this and that. You feel me? See,
nowhere.
you fucked up parents out there. You don't want to take care of your kids. You want to treat your kids like shit. Wait till you get old. See, people forget about, even me. I do. Everyone does it. Especially when you're young, like super young too, bro. Like, you don't really think about when you're going to be old. Treat your kids like shit. They going to treat you like shit when you shitting on yourself. You know what I'm saying? They not sending you to the nursing home. You going to end up dead in your bed at home. they not gonna prolong your life at the nursing because they can't afford it in the first place, even if they can. Or they send you to them places and they don't care nothing about you. They'll never go visit you. You over there in them places getting abused, because that happens. Real talk.
And it's kind of funny today.
It comes around.
Not comical funny, but kind of funny. She jumped and said, "I smell ketchup." And so this man jumped up, began to beat the mess out of her.
Yeah, like I said, he's gonna be mad at the fact that now they not crying. That's he did that intentionally, man, cause he know that. That's like some color purple shit. The nigga ain't got nothing to do all day, just sitting around.
He said, "All you care about is ketchup. I'm laying here dead, blah, blah, blah." So he began, to beat on her. So that was just
Come to
giving you an
find out it's
example
true.
of the things I've been through as a kid. So, as growing up, I enjoy, torching animals, burning animals, watching them, burn up and stuff, and did some other horrific stuff as a kid.
Hey, and bro is being so real though, because that'll make a kid do some shit like that. Make them go out in the woods and do stuff to animals. Not every kid, everybody's different, of course. But that'll make some of them do that stuff, bro.
Because the way that I was brought
And the
up,
chances is way higher when it's abuse and mistreatment going on.
kid, because the way that I was brought up, it was really in a very inhumane way, and I didn't even know how to be a human being.
Right.
So as I got older, I began having these really dark thoughts about, the way my father would hurt me. I wanted to hurt other people, or I wanted to see
Right.
other things hurt,
Right.
and I would vision this, and this is something that I wanted to do. Now, when my mother finally left my father, I ended up smoking weed and drinking and ended up being on.
Bro is being so real and I respect it, bro. Like, does that make this man crazy? I mean, of course it's crazy. That don't mean you go be a serial killer. And he didn't, though. But he's being so real, bro, that type of look at the past, look at the upcomings or the upbringing, look at the childhoods of all of the serial killers. They didn't have a good childhood. And that's where it comes from, bro. Your childhood really does shape your life, bro. It does. You can be ungrateful, thankful, or a piece of shit, or like it's a lot of things that, and it affects everybody different, It does.
Crack for 20 years, so it took away my career.
Hold on.
And this is something that I wanted to do. Now, when my mother finally left my father, I ended up smoking weed and drinking and ended up being on crack for 20 years. So it took away my career of being a serial killer.
Wait, what age did he say? Did he say age 15?
But I won't even get into the story.
That's he being so real.
And I haven't even begun to touch the stories.
So he got in. He said when his mom left his dad, I'm assuming he has to have been under the age of, and for to be on crack for 20 years, bro, looks good, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how long he's been off of it. Crack is one of the things that you could be on for a long time and never die. Let's say around probably 20, 25 or so, because he got a full gray beard. He said he's 57 now. Let's just say he's been off of it for what, 10 years. That's 47. That'd have been 27. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say he was probably about 20 to 25 to 20 to 30 in that range whenever he started. I mean, he was grown. He said when his mama left him, that make it sound like he was real young though. You know, I don't know. But he said he was having them thoughts of wanting to see things hurting, people hurt or whatever as a young kid. Or at a very young age. So he might have been on crack way before that, bro. There's no telling. It doesn't matter. End up, hey, he's still alive. He didn't hurt nobody. He hurt himself, but he's still here. He's 57. Been on crack for 20 years. I don't know if this dude's lying or what. I don't know. I don't know this man. But shit, bro. Crack is not good, but goddamn, compared to anything else, shit. We always talk about a crackhead, crack. They are surviving more than anybody that's on drugs.
I haven't even begun to touch the stories of all the things that my father did to me and my sisters and my mother and even our dogs. I mean, I was born into, my father was a lunatic. Let me just put it like that. My father was very, very evil, very demonic man. And I had tendencies after finally leaving him. I really had tendencies of being a serial killer. You know, as crazy as it sounds, crack saved me from being.
That's not crazy. I respect it, and that's real shit. You come from a childhood like that, and I don't watch the Jeffrey Dahmer and heard about the Ted Bundys, this, that, and the thirds. You know what I'm saying? Crack, hey, God bless America.
Crack use, about my childhood, you know, and for a lot of y'all, you're gonna wonder how in the world are you still standing? And I can tell you the only way that I'm still standing,
God,
and looking like I've never spent 20 years
right,
on crack,
right,
I've never gone to the penitentiary.
Either you're lying,
brain surgery, trigeminal neuralgia. You know, I'm not going through what I'm going through.
He said he got brain surgery.
You know, I'm only standing. I've never gone to the penitentiary. I've never had brain surgery, trigeminal neuralgia. You know, I'm not going through what I'm going through right now. You know, I'm only standing here, you know, sitting here, I guess, because of the Most High God. Because some days now and some days in the past, you know, I didn't want to be here. But that's my quick story on how crack saved me from being a serial killer.
Man, shouts out to that guy, bro, for real, bro, because that's a real ass story, and I respect it, bro. It doesn't sound too crazy. It's a little crazy, because that don't mean because you come from, but regardless, bro, the fact that crack kept him from doing other things is great. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't die from it. Didn't nobody hurt from him doing crack. Maybe his loved ones feeling some type, but inevitably he was good. I don't really know nobody that's really died like that from drugs. I don't want to just say, but it's not crack that they're dying from. Like let's really think about it. I mean, yeah, people die from crack. They might overdose. But they dying from these pills and these opioids and fentanyl, and they dying from these pills, bro. That's what they dying from. It's not the crack. Crack is keeping them alive. These crack addicts go and get hooked on other shit. They do heroin and trank and PC. Like they do, like they doing every fentanyl. They doing that raw. You know, like. Because the crack ain't enough. Crack it geek you out, yeah. Hit you instantly. You know? But it's the other stuff that they do as well that's what was making that way worse than what it is. Crack is, I'm not saying crack is a good thing, but it's kept this man alive from 20 years, and it kept him from doing something else. You know? So That's a crack positive story right there. I never heard nothing like that before. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think though, man. 2IP the name. If you made it to the end of this video and you bored, check out this video to the left or check out my music to the right. I just dropped some new shit, so y'all go run that up. Make sure y'all go get y'all some merch, man. Dreams to reality. We turning dreams to reality all 2025, man. So y'all make sure y'all go tap in. But I get at y'all in this one, man. I'm gone. 2IP the name.
TYP the name, you know that this the way of life. I ain't never read the gang, but I feel like gang tie. I've been really pushing P, put the P in TYP, that nigga.